Hi, boys and girls. Today I have another book. It's called Zen Shorts, and it's by the same author, John Muth, who wrote the book that I read to you yesterday called the Three Questions. Now this one has three stories in it, so I think I'll just read one part of the book, the first story, and then the second one I'll read the next day, and the third one I'll read the day after. That way we can break it up a little bit and still have time for a short mindful minute. Okay, so here's the first one. Let me turn this around. It's called Zen Shorts by John J. Muth. Looks like the panda was in yesterday's book. For Ballard Burrich, the giant panda I've often found dancing on my porch. Michael, there's a bear outside, said Carl. A what? Called Michael. A bear. He's really big, and he's in the backyard. What's he doing? Michael asked. He's sitting. He has an umbrella, said Carl. An umbrella? By the time the boys got outside, their sister Addie was already talking with him. I'm sorry for arriving unannounced, said the bear. The wind carried my umbrella all the way from my backyard to your backyard. I thought I would retrieve it before it became a nuisance. He spoke with a slight panda accent. Michael introduced himself. Then Addie introduced Carl because Carl was shy around bears he didn't know. And this is how Addie, Michael, and Carl met Stillwater. The next day, Addie went out to have tea with Stillwater. Hello, Addie said as she stepped inside. Come in, a faraway voice called. Then she heard the voice say, Oh yes, come out, come out. Stillwater was in the backyard. He was in a tent. This is a birthday present from my Uncle Ray, Stillwater said. He always gives presents on his birthday to celebrate the day he was born. I like it so much that I'm not staying in my house right now. Stillwater invited Addie to sit with him. You brought me some cake, said Stillwater. That was very nice of you. Is it your birthday? No, said Addie. It's not mine either, said Stillwater. but let me give you a gift for my uncle's birthday. I will tell you a story. Uncle Rye and the Moon. My Uncle Rye lived alone in a small house up in the hills. He didn't own many things. He lived a simple life. One evening he discovered he had a visitor. A robber had broken into the house and was rummaging through my uncle's few belongings. The robber didn't notice Uncle Rye, and when my uncle said, Hello, the robber was so startled he almost fell down. My uncle smiled at the robber and shook his hand. Welcome, welcome, how nice of you to visit. The robber opened his mouth to speak, but he couldn't think of anything to say. Because Rye never lets anyone leave empty-handed, he looked around the tiny hut for a gift for the robber. But there was nothing to give. The robber began to back toward the door. He wanted to leave. At last, Uncle Rye knew what to do. He took off his only robe, which was old and tattered. Here, he said, please take this. The robber thought my uncle was crazy. He took the robe, dashed out the door, and escaped into the night. My uncle sat and looked at the moon, its silvery light spilling over the mountains, making all things quietly beautiful. Poor man, lamented my uncle. All I had to give him was my tattered robe. If only I could have given him this wonderful moon. Your uncle sounds nice, said Addie. I don't think I could have given away my robe. I know how that is, said Stillwater, but there's always the moon. That was a good story, said Addie. Thank you, said Stillwater. And this is good cake. Thanks, said Addie. I made it myself. And then we'll stop right there. So that was a nice story about a man who gave away something to someone who was trying to take from him. And he gave something away that was very special to him because he thought the man didn't have anything. And he thought that he would help out someone who was in need. So it was very kind. So I want you to think about how you can be kind today. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Okay, let's take a mindful minute. I'm going to put this right up here. We're just going to take 1 minute. I'm going to get the breathing ball. So sit in your mindful body, strong back, hand on your anchor spot. Close your eyes or keep them open and just breathe in and out for 1 whole minute. Your mind starts to wander to something else. Just bring it back to breathing in and breathing out. If your eyes are open, you can gently close them and just raise your hand when you no longer hear the bell. Goes on for a long time, doesn't it? Okay, that's it for today. Terrific Tuesday, Tranquil Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. And I'll see you tomorrow for Wonderful Wednesday, and I'll read the second story of this book. Bye now.